folks, Rant Ant here.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The audio in your video sounds terrible. I know a lot of people like to give me shit about how horrible my audio is, and they'd be right. But at least I take the time and effort to go into Audacity and get rid of the background noise. Your video has you sounding like you're speaking into a wind tunnel.
On video for the first time ever, this is what your Patreon donations are going to. Better video production like this.
Considering everything you're about to say in this video, I'd rather give my money to more valuable causes than donate some of it to your Patreon. Also, regarding better video production, your video looks like you shot it on a built-in webcam. I'm sorry, but when your poorly drawn Z-list cartoon animal avatar has better video and sound quality than you know you're doing something wrong.
We're gonna make the cinematography and all this shit great, and this is not a costume, this is my real face, okay? If you call it a costume, then I'm gonna say what costume?
That costume you have on your face, as I highly doubt anyone looks like Deadpool with his mask on in real life.
MDA, Must Destroy All, great YouTuber, check him out, that's a shout out to him.
Life's too short and precious. When in doubt, do what Rant Ant does and give a shout out to someone accused of soliciting underage girls for nude photos, and then proceeds to deflect blame when he got called out for doing so. Speaking of shout outs, I'd like to give a shout out to the guys over at Kloud. You can find the link to their channels in the description. Check them out, they're awesome.
Anyways, so here's what I look like. Here's my face. These are my choppers. You might not be able to see them here, but here are my little antlers right there.
Yeah, everyone with eyes can obviously see that this is a costume, especially since later in the video, Rant Ant needs to readjust the paper he used for his choppers.
I'm wearing a USA hat because I love this country. God bless America and everyone in it, except for the Democrats.
Basically, everything about your costume screams, I'm trying way too hard to be edgy to trigger those SJWs in order to defend freedom of speech.
Okay. Now, I want to do one more thing before we get into the topic of this video.
Keep in mind, we're barely a minute in, and Rant Ant has already wasted my time with this video, and we didn't even get to the topic of his video yet, let alone his arguments. The remaining 5.5 minutes are going to be painful.
This is all you little trolls out there. I couldn't do this before, but now I'm on video, I can show you. If I ever meet you in real life, this is what I would do to you. So, hold on. The cap's keeping the air in, so it's kind of hard to crush. This is what I would do to you.
I'm trembling in my boots. Honestly, I am. You having a hard time destroying a water bottle is making me fear for my life right now. In all seriousness, though, I highly doubt this wannabe tough guy could crush anyone. And even if he could, why are you threatening to hurt people who disagree with you? Are you really that stupid that you're willing to attack people who disagree with you?
Okay, now let's get into business. So, I got Tinder the other day. I'm continuing my search for Mrs. Rant Ant, you know. However, what I found out is Tinder is garbage, folks.
Before we go any further, I just want to point out that I've never actually used Tinder, so I don't know whether it's garbage or not. The only things I'll be responding to will be the stupidity that comes out of this guy's mouth.
Okay, I kept my search between females aged 18 to 25 because, you know, I want to be fertile. Sorry ladies, I don't want your 30-year-old vagina that's had all its juices dried up, okay?
I want you to keep in mind that Rant Ant is in his 30s, and has a 4-year-old daughter. I'm guessing based on his sexist comments he made about the vaginas of women over 30, that it's no wonder his ex-wife left him.
You gonna give my son autism or whatever?
There's nothing wrong with being diagnosed with autism. It just means that your brain thinks differently from everyone else's, and you might have a more difficult time communicating and socializing with people. But being diagnosed as autistic is not a sickness or illness of any kind. And even if your son did have autism, instead of complaining about it, how about trying to be supportive of your child instead of attacking them for something they can't control?
But, so I'm forced to date a millennial, which would be fine and good if they weren't all infected with SJW AIDS. You know, all these girls who are SJWs who put on the profile that they don't like sex or whatever. You know, all sex is rape to them, apparently. That's what the fucking liberals have drilled into these young girls' heads.
Citation needed. There are several different schools within feminism that treat sex differently. While there are some feminists that aren't fans of sex, there are also well-known sex-positive feminist YouTubers who make videos talking about how healthy sex is and what can be done to have happy and healthy sexual relationships. This is what happens when someone treats feminism and social justice like they're a monolith.
Sorry, sweetheart, but I ain't here to watch a Doctor Who with ya. I'm here to get action. I'm here to get laid. Case closed.
You sound like such a nice guy who wants to date pretty girls for the sole purpose of getting laid, but your actions cause your plan to backfire and blow up in your face.
But all these SJWs think they're just all entitled to whatever they want. My profile is a little more straightforward, let's say. I just put that, if you didn't vote for Donald J. Trump, who has done a hell of a lot better than Barack Hussein Obama in just 2 months, then you should go hang yourself. And I wanted to weed out all the idiots.
Well, that explains why most of these women don't want to go near you, and honestly, I don't blame them. The fact that you voted for Trump aside, telling women that if they didn't vote for the same person you voted for, that they should kill themselves, is probably the best way of never getting women to date you ever again.
So I was on Tinder for 3 days, folks, 3 days, and only matched with one girl the entire time. Only got one match the entire time. What does that tell you? Well, it tells you that this is a platform completely run by SJWism. They can't handle someone like me.
I think it's less that, and more that they don't want to date someone who threatens them with death if they voted for someone other than the person you voted for.
Anyways, I matched with Kelsey from 12 miles away, and right away I started putting the news on her, saying that, her hair looks like she got it cut a super cut, so that her body reminds you of like a baby rhino, shit like that, And it may seem like I'm being a jerk, but what I'm doing is I'm lowering her self-confidence so that she's easier to scoop up. That's a Rant Ant tip for all you bastards in the audience. It's like Pokemon, okay? You gotta weaken them before you throw the Pokeball. And that's what I'm doing.
Here's a tip, men. If you want women to date you, do the exact opposite of what Rant Ant tells you to do, as lowering a woman's self-esteem and self-confidence and making her feel worse about herself will only drive her further away from you. Especially the part where he compared her body to a baby rhino. Seriously, are you fat-shaming now?
So of course, she agrees to go out with me, because that shit works. So we go to a bar, and we're at this bar, and I don't really have money for drinks. So I get one for myself, of course, because you gotta put yourself first.
Why do I get the feeling that Rant Ant's selfishness helped play a role in why it didn't work out between him and Kelsey?
And I told this Kelsey from 12 miles away, to go fake flirt with another guy at the bar, one of these fucking desperate cucks at the bar, and they'll get you a free drink. And so she goes and she flirts with this fucking loser black guy.
Great. He's pulling the race card. Now, if Rant Ant decides to eventually say, I'm not racist, I want you to keep in mind he made a video defending the use of the N-word, and he's not black.
And most usually when I get on Tinder, and I start looking for more girls. Multitasking. So I'm on Tinder, and I realize, it's been like 10 minutes or so. She's still flirting with this guy.
Your lack of interest, illustrated by the fact that as soon as Kelsey went over to flirt with this guy you told her to flirt with so she can get a free drink, you went back on Tinder, helps illustrate why she decided to call it off with you.
So I walk over there, and I look black guy straight in the eyes, and I'm like, look, buddy, are you going to buy a drink or what? Stop wasting our time. But she didn't like that, apparently. And she ends up going home with this guy instead of me.
Probably because she wants a man who doesn't lower her self-confidence, and a man who actually pays attention to her.
And it's this SJW mentality that's been drilled into these girls. They don't want alpha men like me anymore. They want these fucking black guys, It's ridiculous. But to all my guys in the audience, just stay off of Tinder. Just don't go on it. It's not for people like us. It's for fucking SJWs to meet other SJWs.
Like I said earlier, I haven't been on Tinder before, but I'm guaranteeing the problem is less Tinder and more you. The fact that you openly admitted in this video that you lowered her self-confidence, selfishly bought a drink for yourself instead of for her, and went back on Tinder when you told her to flirt with one of the guys at the bar to get her a free drink, illustrates why you're still alone. The problem is you and only you, Rant Ant.
Maybe there's a business venture in there, I don't know. Maybe somebody can create a dating app where you have to take an IQ test first. That way we can keep out all the real SJWs.
That sounds like a terrible idea. As for Tinder being a business venture run by SJWs, like I keep saying, the problem in this scenario is less Tinder or these women who refuse to date you, and more you.
But, anyways, guys, here's my message to the trolls who are gonna come to this video. Fuck you.
Yeah, cute. The outfit you're wearing is still a costume and not your real face.
And thanks for watching my video. Donate to my Patreon.
I'd rather do anything else than give more of my time and money to a sexist pig who openly admitted in this video that the only thing he wants to do is get laid. And I recommend you guys do anything else as well. Until next time, I'm Danny Quartz. Thank you all for watching.